Welcome to Finding Alara, a safe space where authors, artists and creatives share their world-building style and mindfulness tactics. Brought to you by Bushland Castle Productions, a micro-publisher with an author support platform that nurtures creative growth and storytelling excellence. Welcome to the Indie Author Book Fair Minisode series. All of these interviews were recorded as a live stream from the Indie Author Book Fair on the 30th of November 2025 in Bunbury. Each minisode will have the live interview component with myself or Paul van der May from Forest.chat, an interview the guest had with Chris Ilsley on the day, and an excerpt from one of their creative works, which may just inspire you to have a closer look at what is available in the indie book world. Feature guest 23 of 27 is Brett Cole. Brett Cole was born in Nambour, Queensland, but now lives in the southwest of Western Australia. Formerly a printer, he went on to gain a Bachelor of Arts in English and Comparative Literature and Philosophy before becoming a teacher. He now works as a disability support worker and strives toward finding purpose and ways to have his dreams, wishes and passions evolve. You can get copies of Brett's book through Amazon. The link is in the show notes. We have done our best to clean up the audio for the interview, but it was recorded live, so there is some noise from the crowd embedded into the file. Please note that Brett's book does touch upon the subject of car accidents, so if this is something that triggers you, please look after yourself and seek help if needed. I will return to your ears at the end to share my key takeaways and let you know who the next guest is going to be.
Talking here with Brett Cole about The Pink Bubble. Pink Bubble, what sort of book is The Pink Bubble? Brett?
It's narrative nonfiction, so a lot of it's like a memoir or like a semi-autobiography, but there's some fictitious elements in it. I've created a character so it's not all in first person. So yeah, that's a little bit about it.
All right. So fairly closely connected to a life, but not the actual story of the life.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what is in there is to do with myself and some different things that have happened to me, but there are some fictitious elements in it.
All right, fantastic. We also have a dedication, I believe.
Yeah, my daughter has read out the dedication on air before on Bunbury Community Radio, so it's dedicated to her.
All right, shall we do that?
Jalen, did you want to read the dedication out?
Yes, please.
Oh.
For all my family, with a special reference to my dad, thanks for being so supportive. And my daughter, always try and follow your dreams and passions.
Well done. Thank you very much.
She's very good. She's my foil in a way. She's a bit more confident than me at times, I think.
Oh, wow. So you've written this book, and do you have the next thing on the...
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be writing a second one, to be honest with you. No ideas were really coming, but the months passed, and then it started to happen, an idea for a second book, and I'm finishing up the final chapter at the moment of the first draft, and it's all fictitious, so it's been a really nice change from my first book, which is more like a memoir, and it's been hard to recall different things, choose what to leave out, what to put in, etc. So it's been good.
So now you have to, in effect, fabricate everything.
That's right, yeah, so it's very different. The writing journey of this second one is very different.
What's your favourite part about this writing journey?
Probably when I first got it come in the mail, I needed to check through for some final edits that needed to be done, but to get it in the mail, to look through it, to have the physical copy of it, instead of looking at it always on the screen with the words on the screen, that was probably the best moment, I think.
Suddenly it's alive.
Yeah, that's right. It's an actual book and you get to hold it and flick through it.
Yeah, that's a different experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good experience.
Now, if there were 5 words that were to describe you as an author, what would those words be?
I'd say that, at least in this first book, it's quite colourful in ways, not too vanilla. It's quite honest as well, and it's quite raw, and I'd say it's also insightful. I don't know how many words that's been,
That's right, I'm not counting.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Excellent. So you have a strong basis on your life. So what is it about your life that actually makes it that little bit different and worth
I think that...
people coming to have a read of it, you know?
Yeah, I think maybe for a lot of us writers or authors, we've always enjoyed English maybe in primary school and high school. I still remember reading Dorothy Parker in high school in year 10. I think it was called The Telephone Call. So I've always enjoyed English. And I used to journal write a bit. I was in a car accident when I was 17, and I wrote a lot about that in my 20s. And then many years later, I thought I'll try and create a book from that, have a chapter before it and chapters to follow. And that's what I ended up doing. It took a long time, but it got done, so that's good.
Yeah, and you've had quite a journey, haven't you, along the way?
Yeah, well, we all do. I think once we get to a certain age, we've all had maybe our traumas in a way and have had our journeys. So in some ways, what happened to me as a teenager is not too unique, but it shaped me a lot, and it got me writing more seriously than before then. Yeah.
All right. And after reading your book, after reading The Pink Bubble, how would someone be feeling?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, originally I was wanting it to be read by men that have taken risks before, or teenagers that have taken risks before, and the idea is that they would see that some good can come from mistakes made as a teenager or as a young man. So hopefully it would have them think that, you know, good can come out of something that's bad that's happened.
Excellent. That's a very important thing for a lot of people to actually understand, that just getting out there and doing something, even if it doesn't go how you thought, you can actually make something good from it.
Yeah, I mean, you've always got to keep moving forward, I guess, don't you? So it's a way to move forward, to be able to write about different things that do happen.
All right. And where would people go to actually get a hold of your book?
Well, they can put my name into Google and a bit of information comes up, but it's available through Amazon, it's available through the bookstore here in Bunbury. I can always be contacted as well to get copies to people.
All right. And was the indie authoring journey what you expected?
It's been surprisingly good, I guess, especially today. Even this is the first time I've had a stall, and it's been nice to see other authors here and see their books, and even be interviewed. And I've done a few other interviews. That's been a good experience. So yeah, it's been a good journey.
Excellent. That's wonderful to hear. Thank you very much, Brett.
Thank you so much.
Coming along today and sharing your story.
Yep. Thank you.
Have you finished building your story and you're not sure which pathway to choose for publishing? The Book Reality Experience is a publishing assistance service offering partnership publishing solutions to authors. We have different pathways available, and we'll recommend what we think works best for you and your story. Check out our website at www.bookreality.com for more information. Together, let's turn your book dream into a reality.
Here at the Indie Book Festival in Bunbury, we've got authors coming out of our ears, and Brett Cole is another person who's about to join us. He's a Queenslander. He was born in Nambour in Queensland and now lives in the southwest of Western Australia. He's formerly a printer by trade and went on to gain a Bachelor of Arts in English and Comparative Literature and Philosophy before becoming a teacher. He now works as a disability support worker and strives towards finding purpose and ways to have his dreams, wishes and passions evolve. I think, Brett, that pretty well describes most of us, doesn't it? Even if we don't put it in words, even if we don't articulate it that way, that's in reality what we're looking for in life, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We're looking to chase our passions, chase our dreams, and from that be happy, I guess. So that's right.
You've had an interesting life. You started out life as a commercial printer, and you then obviously went back to uni, I'm guessing, to get your degree. English and comparative literature and philosophy. What put you on that path? I guess when you went back to university, there's a number of things you could have done. Why specifically that?
That Bachelor of Arts degree mostly was due to, I think, a yearning, a searching, a seeking, that kind of thing. I was involved in a car accident when I was 17. And from that, I was a bit lost, I think. So, studied philosophy, and I've always been interested in books and reading, and I enjoyed that a lot in high school.
When you became a teacher, I assume that was an English teacher. Your degree almost sets you up for that, doesn't it?
I did primary teaching, actually. So after my first degree, when I went back to uni and did my education degree, it was primary.
Okay.
But I did some high school
not a lot
teaching.
of male primary teachers now, is there?
No, not a lot. And I hear sometimes that they're on the increase, but I'm not sure about that.
Would you recommend it to anyone? If somebody came to you and said, I'm thinking about doing teaching, would you say, go for it, or would you try and talk them out of it?
No, I would say go for it for sure, because like being a nurse, there's lots of work out there and it's very rewarding work. So I did it for over 10 years.
Is teaching a calling, do you think? That there are certain people who can do it and those who do it are very passionate about it?
I think it can be a calling in a way, yeah. I think that if you enjoy helping others and you've got compassion and empathy and you like working with kids, then it can be a calling.
There is an old saying that said, never work with kids and animals.
It's great working with kids.
Okay, so you say that's a crock.
Better to work with kids than animals, I think. They're very different.
The book you've got is called The Pink Bubble, Become Who You Are. I think the subtitle is perhaps more revealing than the title, isn't it?
It could be, but I've got to disclose that the graphic designer came up with the subtitle, if I can say that, and I do like it.
Yeah.
The actual title is from a meditation that I did on and off for a few years after my accident. But the Become Who You Are was not my idea, I've got to say.
But is that what the book is essentially about, though?
Yeah,
it's giving you an idea, or perhaps giving you guidance or some sort of thoughts as to how you might become who you really are.
Yeah, it's not a self-help book at all, but more a story about my own journey and how I strive to follow my passions and dreams and then actually write a book, which is something I've always wanted to do.
Because being yourself can sometimes be really hard, isn't it? We often look at other people who might be famous, whether it be in sport or in some other area. I mean, gee, it'd be great to be like that person. But people often don't say, and I remember actually, it
doesn't work when you try and be someone else, does it?
No, because all that happens is you become a very poor imitation of that person.
And then you're not being authentic.
Whereas you can be a really good example of yourself. I remember I got accosted in Fremantle one day by this young lady who was obviously working. I think she was working for some sort of cult, to be honest.
And happens in Fremantle.
Yeah. If you want to find that sort of stuff, Fremantle's the place for it.
Yes.
Anyway, she said, "Who would you like to be?" And she didn't like the answer. I said, "Well, actually, I'm really happy being me." You know, largely because I can actually do me pretty well. I can't do anyone else anywhere near as well as I can do me.
And you can look to be a better version of yourself.
And she said, yeah, but who would you really like to be? And I said, me.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that, Brett, I was completely screwing with her head. And that was not the intention.
Yeah, I think it's a great answer. I'm not sure what sort of an answer I would have given. I maybe would have been blank-faced, but that is a good answer.
What was in your head when you wrote The Pink Bubble? When you first sat down and said, I'm going to write the book, what were you thinking? What were you setting out to achieve?
The second chapter I wrote in my 20s, and a lot of that chapter is about the car accident that I was in. And then years later, I thought I want to write the chapter before it and following chapters and create an actual book from it. So what I was looking for is, I think, finishing off my story and it hopefully being more than just what happened at that time when I was 17 when that accident took place.
When you reflect on the accident, was it truly an accident? Or was
car
it
accident?
No, when I say was it truly an accident, was it an accident in the true sense, or was it a 17-year-old being stupid in a car who came to grief?
Probably the latter.
Yep.
And that's what caused me a lot of problems to an extent. Guilt, shame, anxiety, etc. And that led to writing, philosophy, trying to learn from books. And this was a way to move forward from all of that, to make something good from it, I guess.
So as we sit here, you can say to me that in its own bizarre way, the accident was actually good for you.
I think so, but there still is the fact that someone did get hurt, and I've been in touch with that person since, and I seeked from her if it was okay for the book to be published. And
So she recovered?
Yeah, she has some ongoing problems from it, unfortunately, which is something she's got to live with.
And you also feel an element of responsibility, I guess.
Of course, absolutely, yeah. And you know, when you write about these sorts of things and speak about them, then they're not as scary if you're keeping them all to yourself, I guess.
Yeah, but also I suppose it gets to be a little bit cathartic. And the other thing is that you've kept in communication with this person.
That's right.
So you didn't try and run away from it. You accepted what happened.
It took me a long
your part
time.
in what happened, and you've owned it.
Yeah, it took me a while. It took me some years to get in touch with her, and I've got some of her artwork here at my stall because she's done some artwork as a part of therapies that she does.
Yep. Brett, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate your time. By the way, Brett's book is called The Pink Bubble, Become Who You Are.
The excerpt I have for you today is a sample from page 56 of The Pink Bubble. Anton, at this stage, is processing a lot of the accident he has been in and the difficulty of seeing his step-cousin in rehabilitation. They both were impacted in different ways from being in the car together when the accident took place. He is in a dark place and is trying to work through all of the feelings and emotions attached to what happened. Anton turned his attention back to the clock. It was large, about the size of a rubbish bin lid, the kind that fits neatly under a sink. The numbers were big, bold and black, easily readable. Its circumference was black and the background white. It was a most banal-looking clock. However, at the moment he could not take his eyes off it. He wondered if there was life in it, and in the other seemingly inanimate objects around him, if these objects were simply instruments of human usage. At some undetectable, immature level, there could be some form of life transpiring. Whatever the life substance was, perhaps it was similar to what made up the human mind. He thought of time as an incorporeal body, interconnected with the clock in his room. Without the concept of it, the clock would be of no use. He now hated the fact that time never stopped. It ticked away in his head, even when he was not looking at a clock or watch. It bent joy and stifled life by allowing happy moments to pass. Particular instances of exaltation were always just fleeting moments. It did not allow him to savour anything because the memory was never the same as the actuality. When he wanted to stay with a thought, stay in a mood or live in a realisation, it would end up being taken from him by time. Time seemed cunning. It controlled people and dictated their lives. It was not an object, but an object of thought. Why are there hands on clocks and watches, he wondered. Hands do not move in perfect circles like hands on a clock. Time always defied his stillness and cursed his idleness. He wished to rage against the rules that screamed at him each day, the routines of eating, grooming and sleeping. He was sick of all the commitments it enforced upon him. He wanted to now bide his time, to escape it and be free from it, at least for a little while. That excerpt was really quite interesting. It shows how the mind can wander down paths you had never considered before. My first takeaway was his motivation behind the book. He was looking to make something positive out of an unfortunate situation. My second takeaway was his process, starting with the chapter about the accident itself, then building around that. My third takeaway was the lesson that he's trying to tell through the narrative, which is some good can come out of mistakes. What were your key takeaways? If you would like to carry on the conversation with Brett, then he has Facebook and Instagram. All the contact details are in the show notes along with his book information. In the next episode, you will hear from Vanessa Joyce. If you are enjoying the show and would like to show some support, then please subscribe and share these episodes with a friend. Or if you want to go the next step, you can buy us a cuppa. Head on over to ko-fi.com/findingalara. There is an option for you to buy us a cup of tea for $2, or you can join the Shadow Lair for $5 a month, where you receive exclusive content and advanced information about the show. If you'd like to get in touch with myself or the team at Bushland Castle Productions, then I'm on Instagram and TikTok as @FindingAlara. There is a Discord channel and Facebook group called Finding Alara Podcast. The Bushland Castle Productions team are on Facebook, Instagram and Discord as BCP Creative, or you can check out the website bushlandcastleproductions.com for the most up-to-date information. If you'd like to get in touch with Chris, then he's on Facebook as Chris Ilsley, and if you want to talk to Paul, then he's on Facebook as Paul Vandermeer and has his own podcast, Forest.chat. The music is brought to you by At Keys of Moon Music and is called The Epic Hero. If you enjoyed listening to Finding Alara, have any questions, or just want to share your world with us, then please get in touch. Until next time, keep up the search for your Alara.